Hey everybody, so week 9 just passed and we are already in May, so I officially have 2.5 months left. Ooh, it's going by too fast. So one of the first differences I've noticed, and actually it is for Chile too, because I was just gonna say like all the other countries, but it's including Chile. So apparently in the US, like we're the only ones that really do a lot of things, but one of the main things is not one of the main things, but just one of the things is how we call people that are in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, like your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And then when you go to college, it's the same thing, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. But everybody else just calls it grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. And then when you're in college, you're year one, two, three, or four, and then they don't even say like ninth grade or 10th grade. They say like grade 9, and I feel like people from Canada, and I've had a couple conversations with them about this. They're like, "Why do y'all do that? Like that's just so weird." And they say like when they hear it, like it sound like it's just sounds so American, or like it sounds like we're talking from a movie. Because I guess like movies that they see from the US, like a lot of them, like I guess like college movies about partying and all this stuff and how you're a senior. So yeah, so that's one of the differences. And let's see. Another difference is how I don't have to wash my clothes here, and it's awesome. At first, like I was gonna wash them, but then she's like I can wash them, like it's fine, and I'm like, okay. And then also like we don't have a dryer, so I'm pretty sure I saw her doing this one time. She like when they're done washing, like she was wringing them out, like so each like clothing item she has to wring out, and then she puts it to dry like out there, and then yeah. So that's something new. I actually really like it. Like I don't remember the last time like I didn't have to wash my clothes. um Probably like 10 years ago, I think. I don't know, a long time, and it's nice. I like it. Let's see. I think those were the I've kind of talked about the buses, but I feel like I haven't elaborated on them. But yeah, here they have. I feel like they have a good um, public transportation system, like with their buses. So they have buses that go everywhere. So like we're in Vina, so they have like buses that go to Concon, which is like up north, like 15 minutes or so, and then some that go to Valparaiso, some that go to Santiago, which is like an hour and 30 minutes away. And there are a few buses here that go all these places. So, okay, like you can get a micro to like Concon, Valparaiso, but like we have a bus terminal. Yeah, bus terminal. And then if you want to go to like a big city, so like if you wanted to go somewhere way down south or somewhere all the way up north, like they have actual buses, like a Greyhound, similar to Greyhounds, um, that go all those places, and it's actually really cheap. Like it won't be that much. Like you could get like if you're going like 8 hours away or even more than that, you could probably get a round trip for like $40, which really isn't too bad. Um, let's see. They also have colectivos. So they're similar to taxis, but they're not. They're in cars, and they have like stuff on the top, but like the micros, like each micro has a certain route that it's going on, and that like stuff it passes by. And so the colectivos are like the same. So they have like on the top it says like where they're going and like kind of where you can get off at. And they're a little bit more than micros, but not too much. They're way cheaper than taxis. And then of course they have taxis here. Um, those are pretty expensive, but like I said before, like they do have Uber here, and it is way cheaper. So I like Uber better than taxis. I only took taxis twice. It was like when we first got here, when we got left by the buses, of course, and we had to take taxi. But yeah, never mind that. Let's see. Okay, so that's all the differences I have. And then this also happened last week, but I forgot to mention my other videos. So one of um, the host brother's friends came by, and he was from Egypt, and he was like at the table, so we're like talking, and well, this is a difference. He was saying how I was like asking him about Egypt and what he likes better and stuff, and he said he like loves Egypt and he wished he was there. And I was like, oh, like why is it so much better? And he was like, I'm treated like a king. And I was like, what? Like how? And he's like, over there, he was saying how everything is free for him. And I was like, what do you mean free? He's like, yeah, the food's free, like education is free, healthcare is free. And I'm like how is that? And he just said like, I guess like naughty. I guess like if you're poor or like middle class, I think that's kind of what it was, that the government just provides you with all these free services. He said he finished his bachelor's degree and he didn't pay anything, like anything for his education, which is crazy. And he also said like, yeah, when you're going to the grocery store, or not the grocery store, like one like where they give you food, like you can go get, he said anything you want, like you can get anything. The only thing that you had to pay for was meat and like fish, and yeah, that was all. He said that's all you had to buy. And I was like, that's so crazy. So that's something new that I learned, because I definitely didn't know that before, and it's actually pretty cool. So now I want to go to Egypt. Well, I probably couldn't get all the free stuff, but I still want to go. Let's see. Oh, I also found out. So, uh, I feel like sometimes we talk at the dinner table, but not. Sometimes we don't. Like we just eat. I don't know. Sometimes it's awkward. But so yeah, I was walking home and we had like a garage up top. It's like what's painted by the door, and the host brother and his friend were in there, and I like walked by and they had like all these boxes and all this stuff, so I stopped by to say hi. And I was like, oh, what are y'all doing? And the friend was like, oh, she doesn't know. And I'm like, what? And then they told me that they're making a restaurant in the garage, and so, and it should be done like in 1 month. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But they're gonna be like making sandwiches or something like that, so that should be interesting to see and how that goes. um, and I'm interested to see how they taste as well, because I asked like him, I was like, why have you never like made them here? He's like, I only make them for money. I was like, okay, touche. um, and speaking of businesses, I actually came up with a new business idea that I want to implement at home, and I'm really excited about it because I'm pretty sure there's not another company like it in San Marcos. And so I'm pretty sure it's going to work out. And I don't have all the details, and I'm still like researching and doing stuff like that. But it's in the process. So I'm excited about that. So you have to keep watching to see what it is. Let's see. On Friday, no, wait. Yeah, Friday, I had that free field trip. So how that worked out is, so there are other kids that are in certain programs, like ISA is the name of the program, or there's a bunch of other ones, but so they paid the program, and like through that their program provides like excursions that they go on, like these field trips, and they're already like prepaid by them. But like sometimes, like if people don't go, it's already paid for, but and so basically there's free spots. So that's how I ended up going, because there was a few people not going on this field trip because they had like other um, things to do, or other um, things planned. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Not adventures. It doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, that's how I got to go on the free trip. And so we went to Palmero, I think that's how it was called. I'm not too sure. But we're going to make clay, and this place was about 2.5 hours away. It was a really cute town, like an artist town. Um, we drove in. It was a really nice view. There's all these mountains. It was so pretty. I'll post pictures. And then we get there. Um, and then we watch this video of how all they make clay. And then the first thing that we did was make this little thing, no bobber. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna use it for. Maybe a flower pot. I'm not sure. But we made that, and his looked way different. His was way better, but this is what I came up with. And then the second part, because that first part we were supposed to copy what he did, and then the second part, like, you could just make whatever you wanted. And so I made this little like suitcase thing, but he only gave us like 15 minutes, and then when like it was almost done, he's like, okay, you'll have 2 minutes left, and I like wasn't done, like, so I had to rush it. But yeah, it just says Chile. And then I asked him if he could make me a little airplane. It was supposed to stick on, but it didn't. So, but that's the airplane. It's so cute. And then after that, we did the actual like clay pottery making, I guess, but we didn't make like a vase or anything. We made like a bowl, or yeah, a bowl. And this was like other places, like it's automatic, so you just like push a button on the floor, and it like that's what makes it spin. But this one was like manual, like old school. And so the way you made the thing spin at the bottom was you had to constantly kick it. Like, it was, yeah, I felt like it was kind of a workout, but yeah, you had to constantly kick it to make your thing spin so you can shape your little bowl. I sucked at it. Like, I think I was the worst, the worst one there. I was the last one done. Like, I just couldn't get it. Like, I couldn't. I was like turning it. It also like kind of hurt your hands because there's like little rocks in this mud thing, so it was like hurting the bottom of your hands. But every time I would go, like a piece would fall off, or one time I was like doing actually kind of good, and then the whole thing just came off of the bottom of the set, so then I had to start all over, and then it was just not good. And then finally, like, the guy just came over and he was like, okay, just kick it, and he just like made my bowl for me, and I was like, okay, that works. Like, it was not good. Maybe I'd be better at the automatic one, I don't know, but I don't know. So this is the bowl that he made, and I just wrote these things on there, like Chile, and then I put the design in there. So yeah, that was Palmero, and then we walked around for a little bit and also had lunch at this, I don't remember the name of the place, but it was really good. What did I have? Oh, I just had like mashed potatoes and this meat. It was really good. And then other people had like uh I forgot what it's called. It's like chocolo something. It's basically like a corn pie kind of thing, like uh pot pie kind of. Yeah, similar to pot pie, but doesn't really taste like it. What else was there? I took a picture. We had like a whole table full of food. And then after, we also got dessert, and those were really good. We had this thing, I forgot the name. I need to start writing these down. But it was like, it tasted very similar to arroz con leche, and I love arroz con leche. But it was just like the milk. It was just like milk, but very similar to arroz con leche, and that was really good. And then they had, what else do we have? Oh, we had this, it was similar to flan. I'm not a big fan of flan. And then there was this other thing. It was like an airy cake. Like, people were saying it tastes like air, but it had like ice cream in it, but it didn't have any texture or like actual cake in it. It just had like these wafers, and it was really light. It was super good, super bien. And then yeah, that was the end of that day. And then the next day, oh, and then I went out after that, and then the next day I had another field trip that we had to leave like at 9 in the morning, and here, like, you don't get home till really late, so I like didn't get any sleep, like any sleep. And we went rafting. That was like 2.5 hours away as well, but closer to Santiago. And I can't tell you about that drive because I was not awake. I was knocked out. Like, I'm pretty sure the people in our car like took pictures because me and another girl in the back just knocked out. And yeah, I know they have pictures. Um, yeah, so we went to Cajon del Maipo. That was the name of the city where we're rafting. And when I got there, I was awake. But it was just so pretty, like, because we had to take, when we got there, we took, like, we got in a truck to get to the actual place where to go rafting. And, like, they have all these pretty mountains. And there's, like, a bunch, it's a very, very touristy place. You could camp there, you can go trekking, you can go rafting. People had bikes and they had a bunch of campsites, so I actually really want to go back there. And like while we're driving to the spot to go rafting, there's like all these mountains, and there's mountains in the background that have snow on them, and it was actually like really hot that day, and I'm like how is that? But it was just really pretty. And I'm super sad. I didn't have my GoPro with me. I had it with me, but it wasn't charged, and I didn't have an SD card, so it wouldn't have worked. But I didn't get to record it. I was super sad. It was an awesome experience. Probably the one of the best things I've ever done. Like I really want to go again. Um, but one of the other girl's friends did have a GoPro, so I'm really hoping I can get some videos and pictures from her so I can be able to show y'all. And the level that we did is level 3, and it goes all the way to level 6. So we did like a medium one, like it wasn't too bad. Uh, we had like when we got there, we had like a 30-minute or so. It's kind of long, like a introduction or like what to do, what not to do, um, about rafting. It took a while. We had a wetsuit on, then we have to have this like wet jacket yellow thing, and then we had to put on the life jacket after that, and like all the instructions. So I felt like the whole weekend I was like speaking Spanish because the instructions for clay making was of course in Spanish, and then rafting was in Spanish, but I actually understood the guy a lot. Um, and he was kind of funny. Let's see. So for rafting, you have to sit like at the edge of the boat thing and tuck your feet in at the bottom. And there's all kinds of instructions. Like once he said like left to row backwards, the right to row forward, and like sometimes you had to like drop to the floor of the bottom of the boat, like in case like not to go overboard, or you had to like jump to the other side, like if one side was like gonna go under, or it was crazy. Like, and then sometimes you have to paddle really fast, and like he was just like screaming, and it was really fun. And then you'd be like celebrate, and then all your paddles go up and you're like woo. Yeah, so I feel like half of the rafting was like calm. Like sometimes we just didn't paddle, we just sat there. But then sometimes like it was kind of intense. Like, and then when we first got there, and they were also explaining like what you're supposed to do if you fall out of the raft, all these things. And I was like, oh man. So I felt like it was very common for people to fall out, but we actually only had one guy, I think, out of everybody fall out, and he was in our boat. So we had one man overboard, and it was it was like when we first got in, and one of the first like wave things we hit, and so that was pretty funny. But it was really fun, and the scenery while you're going down the water was really nice. So hopefully I get those videos and pictures. God, I just sometimes I talk too much. But sorry, these videos are really long. Let's see. And then Sunday, we went to our friends. So if you didn't know, it's three of us, well, three other girls and then me. So four of us going to Buenos Aires. And we went to one of the girls' house on Sunday, and we planned like the whole trip. We made like an itinerary and of like all these things that we're gonna do. And then we actually got some more recommendations of like where we should go and all this stuff. So now we have to like rearrange everything, but it's gonna be really fun, and that's in 2 more days. Oh my god, I still have a lot to do. Oh, after I did another 10-page paper, like I have to write it tonight and tomorrow, but I'll get it done. And then I also have to pack, and then yeah, that's it. Oh, another thing that I wanted to talk about is like today in economics, how so we're talking about education and like how it is in different countries, and we watched this video about like Finland and how they have the best education system like in the world. And then we kind of talked about Chile's education system, but I think it's really cool because like I said before, like a lot of our classes are pretty small, like about 20-25 people. So it's like very intimate, and we're always having like a conversation, and they're just talking about the school system. But like once I was listening, like so everybody in your class is not from the same place. So like we had people from Germany, um, Canada, US, of course, Germany, Singapore, and then there was, I want to say Switzerland. Well, for sure there was France, and I want to say Switzerland, but I'm not sure if that was the next one. But yeah, but they're like, yeah, this is how our education system is. And then like everyone was just like saying how it is in their country, and I was like, that it's really crazy, and it's really cool to hear like other people's perspective, and also like where they come from and all this stuff. So I really like that. And yeah, that's it. So the next video will be all about Buenos Aires. So until next time.